Okay, sharing screen. You guys can see the screen. Huh? Okay. Okay, before we start, let me share this. Self-assessment. This is an exercise. Okay, another one I must share is this one. Okay, let's go back. Okay, today we're going to focus on this audits and assessment. So auditing is very important in cybersecurity or IT. The reason for that is that the only way to find out if the security controls or your systems, your applications, if they are working, the only way you can find out is to do an internal audit, to evaluate, to assess them. So we do internal audit in the company, but there's also external audit, which is done by external auditors like KPMG, PwC, and all those auditing companies. But we also do an internal one. So this one is when the company conducts a broad evaluation of the effectiveness of their own controls, compliance, integrity of information systems. So basically we need to make sure that our systems comply with the company policy and they are working as they should. So our antivirus systems are working as they should. Our email systems, email security is working as they should. So that's why we conducted this internal audit. And this helps us to prepare for the external audit, which is done by auditing firms. So why is this done? Audit, internal or external? So it gives the trust to the customers that our company is doing what it's supposed to do. So any company that has or that's being audited, it gives that trust to suppliers and customers that they can do business with this company. So it can be trusted. Also, to get government contracts and things like that, they would require that you do have a certification to show that you've been audited by an external company. And then those audit findings are reported to the audit committee. So audit helps us to identify problems so that we can improve our systems, and then report those findings to the audit committee. So these people, audit committee, they report to the board of directors or board of directors. So these people are individuals in the company who are chosen as audit committee. So the internal audit will focus on this: data protection, network security, access controls, incident response. And we use different methods of conducting this internal audit. So most of the time we create documents using Excel to conduct this internal auditing report. And then we document all the findings which we share with the audit committee. So this helps us to prepare for the external audit. So here's an example. An audit to review access control policies and procedures to ensure that they align with regulations. Or an audit to examine access rights, meaning the user permissions. That's when you check what users can access, which users can access data. And you also have to test the effectiveness, meaning you have to test that they are working as they should. So if you are saying that your company has very strong passwords, it's not easy to log in, then you'll have to test. You would have to try and log in and see if you can access um, that system. And then you have to document the findings. So this document, which I've shared with you guys, this one here, it's an example. This is a checklist which you would use to conduct an internal audit. And then you will document all that information here. So if I go to this one, yeah, I've shared this one with you. So there's a company here which you guys must go through, read through this document for this company. And then once you read this document, then you need to go and document the findings here on this assessment here. So all the information that you require, it's on that previous document which I was sharing. So this is one of the things that we do in the in our company. Let me go back here. Then let's talk about this compliance. So what is compliance? Basically, it's ensuring that systems meet established standards or regulations or laws. So basically, it's the act of following laws, regulations, or internal policies. Okay, let's go here to audit committee. Like I was saying, audit committee is just a group of individuals appointed by the board of directors to oversee the internal and external audit functions. So those guys who are going to do a GRC or cybersecurity, they'll be doing things like these. This is the admin side of cybersecurity. This is very important because that's where we find out if we are complying with the regulations and the law and we are following the company policies. So if we don't do this, we'll never know if the company is um, following the regulations and the policies. And then this one, internal assessment. It's similar to internal audit, but the difference is that the internal audit is more broad. It covers a lot more, a lot more things. Internal assessment, this one focuses on a specific area. For instance, maybe it will focus only on a specific department or specific task. With internal audit, it applies to the whole organization, the whole company. So internal assessment is more specific and it's not formal like internal audits. And the findings are reported to the management, not the audit committee. So here's an example of a self assessment or internal assessment. These are the steps for self assessment. So the first thing that you have to do is identify the goal. Why are you performing this assessment? What is the goal that you're trying to achieve? Second step, you have to gather data and documentation. And then, so basically, this second step is where you will perform this. It's where you will complete this document here. Self assessment checklist. And then once you document all the information, you will analyze and see where do you need to improve. Let me go back. Where do you need to make improvements? And then last step, you take action. You implement the improvements. So I can give you an example. If you are trying to see if the employees are aware in terms of the knowledge of cyber attacks that are out there, maybe you want to find out if they know what the phishing email is. That will be your goal. And then here, maybe you'll collect documentation or you collect data. Try and find out if they did perform training regarding phishing. Once you have that data, that information, then you'll be able to see that, okay, maybe only 40% of the employees did training regarding phishing and they are aware of it. Then the last action will be that you implement training for the rest of the employees. You'll assign training to them regarding phishing. Okay, external audits. Sorry, this is the one that I was talking about. This is where independent auditors assess the organizations, systems, and controls. So companies like PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst& Young, these are companies that specialize in auditing. So in cybersecurity, there are, or in IT, there are IT auditors. And most of people, when they think audits, they think financial auditors, but there are IT auditors. They will do, if you want to be in that field, you must go and study courses like these. Let me go over here. The good thing about the IT auditing field is not too technical. It's not very technical. Okay, let me go back here. Yeah. So this company here specializes with some of the cybersecurity certification, especially in regards to auditing. Yeah, certifications like these: certified information system auditor, or CISA. So these are the certifications that you can look into if you are if you want to go into IT auditing. Okay, let's go back here. So the external audits will evaluate whether the IT systems are secure, reliable, compliant, and support the policies. So they'll check if the sensitive data is protected in the company, and then it is compliant with laws and regulations, GDPR, POPIA Act. When they are evaluating a bank or a financial institution, they will check whether the bank complies with these standards or regulations. Okay, I'll let you in. Okay, I hope you are in now. All right. Let's see if you're in. Okay, you're in now. It's fine. Okay, let's go to some questions in the meantime. Let's see if you are understanding what we are talking about here. Um, okay, let's start with this one. What is the primary purpose of an internal audit? Is it to generate revenue for the company? Which one? D. Okay. Yes. Okay. Zetsulo, I think because you did that Microsoft certification, you will know a bit more. Uh, maybe type. Maybe we must type the answers in the chats. I want to see if the other guys understands. Okay, which of the following is not typically a focus area for internal audits? So, what do they focus mostly on, or what do they want to check when they do internal auditing? They want to check which ones, and which ones do they not want to check? Okay, the answer is this one: marketing strategies. Internal audits, they want to check this: access controls, data protection, network security. So, this one is not part of the internal auditing. And then who receives the findings from an internal audit? So when internal auditing or auditors are done with their findings, who do they send it to? That group, remember, that group is individuals in the company who are chosen by the board of directors. Let's see if you guys chose the correct answer. I want to see on the chat. Okay. Okay. Yes, the answer is B. Now, what is the difference between internal audits and internal assessments? There is a difference. Internal audits is more broad. Internal assessments is specific, focus on a specific area, maybe like a department or a specific task. Internal audit focuses on the whole company. So assessments are more specific and less formal than audits. Okay, which regulation is specifically mentioned as relevant for financial institutions regarding the payment card data? So, which regulation applies here to the payment card data industry? Let's see if you guys will get this one. Okay. Correct answer is this one. It even shows the PCI DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. So if you check, even some bank cards, they will have this this icon here, PCI DSS. So some payment systems, they do have this logo. Next time when you tap in your shop with your card, have a look at the payment device. You'll see this logo here. So every financial institution must comply with this PCI DSS regulations. Okay. Then external audits are typically performed by which type of organization? I think this one will be easy. Which organizations do external audits on companies? A, B, C, D. Okay, here are the options. Is it government? Is it independent auditing firms? Is it customer service teams? Is it internal IT departments? So if I'm a customer, I want to do business with you, with your business, how can I trust it? I would want to see a certification that you were audited by an independent company. And the answer is this one. Okay, let's go here. So remember, assessments are not formal like audits, and there's different kinds of assessments. There's risk assessments, there's vulnerability assessments, there's threat assessment. And then let's go here. Regulatory compliance. This just means that compliance with the standards or regulations. So basically following the laws like PCI DSS, following laws like CompTIA, following laws like GDPR. That's what regulatory compliance means. Okay, and then when it comes to assessments, there's different ways to check or to assess. There's something called penetration testing. For those of you who want to be technical in the cybersecurity industry, you want to be what we call ethical hacking. You will do things like these: penetration testing, meaning you will simulate a real attack to identify weaknesses in a system. Basically, you will try and pretend to be a hacker so that you can identify the weaknesses in the company. So there are companies that specialize in this, just doing that penetration testing. They get hired by other companies just to so that that company can see their weaknesses and then they can improve them and close those weaknesses. So if you want to know if your system is strong, then perform a penetration test or hire a company that can do that penetration testing. And they use different methods or different applications to do that. So there's physical penetration testing, and then there's a systems penetration testing where you use applications and systems. Physical one is easier. So if I want to know that your house has is if I want to perform a physical penetration testing at your house, I'll check and see the gate if it gets locked. I'll check if it your system or your house has cameras. I'll check if maybe your fence has it's not secure. I'll check if your windows have butlers, if your doors lock properly. So that's what a penetration test or a physical penetration testing does. So what they'll do, they'll come, if you hire them, they'll go to the company. As I walk in as an employee, they'll try and maybe walk behind me. As I clock in with my work card, then they just walk in with me. That's what we call tailgating. or they'll try and do a card cloning, maybe try and steal a card that belongs to an employee and then clone that card. There's different ways in which they clone the card. They can use systems like these. They can use devices like these. Or get some of these devices which can be used to clone your card or your tag for the gate. And then after they identify all those weaknesses, they'll do a report and then they'll send it to audit committee to say these are the weaknesses, the physical weaknesses in your organization, and then management will have to take decisions regarding improvements. And then in penetration testing, there's different teams. There's the red team, then there's the blue team, and then there's the purple team. Okay, at the company that I work for, I'm part of this team, defense pen testing, blue teaming. There are guys who are part of this red teaming. These guys here. These are what we call ethical hackers. Certified ethical hacker uses IT applications systems to simulate an attack to break into a system and expose weaknesses. So if you want to be this one, if you want to be this, then you must do these certifications. CEH. But it's a very, very technical course. You need to know the Linux operating system. So right now, one of the guys that I'm working with, he's supposed to conduct ethical hacking for the company, but the problem is his certification has expired. He had this certification, but now it's expired. So he must go and redo the certification so that he can perform the ethical hacking for the company. Because the auditors, they want someone who's certified to perform this offensive penetration testing. So they do check the qualifications to verify that is this person qualified to perform offensive penetration testing. So that guy that I work with, he has to go and redo that certification. And then this one, blue team, defensive penetration testing. So on this side, we just defend. That's all that we do. But on this side, these guys, their job is to attack, and the main reason is to expose or to identify weaknesses in the system. For us who are on this side, all we do is we test the defenses. That's all. So we have to monitor our network for unusual behavior. So on my side, I monitor data. So when users are sharing data or they're sending data to other users, especially users outside of the company, I have to monitor that to see that they're not sharing sensitive data, or they're not sharing what they're not supposed to share. And then this one, purple team, this one is a combination of these two, no? Red teaming and blue teaming. So we call it integrated penetration testing. So it combines both of them, both of these. So basically, it promotes teamwork. So if you want to be part of this red teaming, then you must go and learn this. Kali Linux. You need to understand this. You can see it shows the penetration testing, most advanced penetration testing distribution. You can download this, it's for free. Okay, let's move on to this reconnaissance. So this means gathering information. So it's the first phase where an attacker gathers information about the target system to enhance the success of the attack. So basically, it's like when a criminal is trying to break into your house, they'll try and study you. What time do you leave and go for work? What time do you come back? How do you open your gate? How long do you stand before you open the gate? What time do you go and fetch kids from school? So all that whole process of gathering information, we call it reconnaissance. So criminals on the internet, they do the same, or cyber attackers. They study all the companies that they want to hack or they want to attack. They'll study the employees, how they behave, who's who, what are their job roles, and who are their clients. They'll gather all that information. That's what we call reconnaissance. So when doing penetration testing, you also have to perform this reconnaissance, gather information about the company so that you know exactly what to test, how to test. So there's different kinds of reconnaissance. There's active and then there's passive. Passive reconnaissance basically it's a direct engagement with the system that you are targeting. So this one will offer more information, but there's higher risk of being detected. So basically, it's like if I'm trying to get information about you, if I'm a criminal, I'm trying to rob your house, I follow you every day when you go to work. I follow you when you leave or when you get out of work. There's a higher chance that you might detect me because I'm behind you with my car. Then you might start noticing that this car is always following me. This red car is always behind me. What's happening? So that's what we call active reconnaissance. So in cyber criminals, they'll do, if they want to do an active reconnaissance, maybe they'll send you, they'll target you by sending you phishing emails. And those phishing emails, they have the same pattern, they come from the same sender. And then you start seeing a pattern that I might be targeted by phishing emails. And in this one, passive. So passive reconnaissance is where they gather information without direct engagement. So it's less detectable, but it's difficult to gather information with this one. You might get less information. Okay, let's go to some questions. Let's see if you guys are understanding or not. Let's see. Okay, let's start with this one. What does red teaming refer to in penetration testing? Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Or is it D? Red teaming. Remember, I told you that I'm part of the blue team, defense team. Then what is this one? What is the red teaming? Is it defense? Testing defense? Is it the physical security testing? Is it offensive penetration testing, simulating real attacks? Or is it regulatory? Okay, let's see which guys. Okay, it's good. Correct answer is C. No? What is the primary focus of blue teaming, of blue team testing? What is the main focus of a blue team? Is it attack? Is it offensive? Let's see if you guys will get it. Okay. Correct answer is this one. They're testing the defense mechanisms. And then let's go to this one. What characterizes a purple team testing? So what is a purple team? They encourage teamwork. So let's see if you guys get this one. Okay. Correct answer is B. No? Integrated testing, which combines both offensive and defense. Basically, they combine red and blue. Okay, let's come to reconnaissance. Remember on reconnaissance, I said there's active reconnaissance and then there's passive. What is the main advantage of passive reconnaissance over active reconnaissance? Remember, active one will give you more data, but it can make you more detectable. A person can know that someone is following them. So, what is the advantage of passive? Okay, okay. Correct answer is this one. It's less detectable, but may give you less data because you have to be far away from the victim or the target. Okay. Okay, let's go here. The type of reconnaissance you want to use depends on the penetration testing you want to run. So when it comes to reconnaissance, there's three environments which can operate. You can operate in. There's the known environment, there's the partially known environment, and then there's the unknown environment. So if you are a penetration tester, sometimes you might have to operate in a known environment. What does this mean? It means you, as the tester, you have all the information required for you to perform the testing. You have the domain name, you have the web address, the IP addresses, you have the network, the firewall information. Basically, you have everything for you to conduct a penetration test. So we call that a known environment because you know the environment because you have all the information. And in this one, We call it a partially known environment, meaning you know some of the things, but not all of them. So, as a penetration tester, meaning you have some information to conduct the testing. And in this one, unknown environment means that the penetration tester has limited information to conduct the test, meaning maybe the tester only has the company name or only the web address. So most of the times when hackers or cyber attackers are hacking into companies, they start here. They don't have a lot of information. They only know the company address or the company website, and then they over time they start building information. Then they start doing this passive, and then over time they build information. They come here active. So the penetration testers sometimes they operate in this kind of environment. So I can hire a company. If I have a company and my company is TapsTech, I hire a company which specializes in penetration testing. So I want to find out what are the weaknesses in my company. So I hire those guys, and then I only give them the web address. Then I say www.tapstechacademy.com. I only give them this information. Then I tell them, I want you to find the weaknesses. Go and try and hack or attack my company. So that's what we call an unknown environment. They don't have information. They only have this. They don't have a lot of information. So penetration testers, they used tools like these, no? Nmap. Let me open it here. Let me see. Nmap stands for network map. So it's a free tool that you can test, or even on your PC. Free security scan. It will scan your PC. It will check all the weaknesses on your PC. Then it will give you the results. After it's done scanning, it will show you that, oh, your antivirus is out of date, your antivirus is outdated, your computer port is open here. This application that you downloaded, you can even try it on your PC just to see what kind of information it will give you. And then we have something called attestation. What does this mean? Basically, this is a formal way of verifying and confirming that your security controls in your organizations are working as they should, they are effective. So attestation is part of assessments. It's what we use for assessment. In the company that I work for, there's a guy who specializes in this attestation. His job is basically to do he does a lot of documents on he does a lot of Excel reports, and his job is to check the company that all the systems or all the applications that we have, they are working as they should. For instance, if the company has antivirus software, is that then he has to check that is that antivirus software available to all the computers in the company, and are they all protected? So he goes to all the cybersecurity analysts, just checking, just getting all that information, and he adds or he documents all that information on his documents, his Excel documents. He doesn't do he doesn't do technical stuff. So sometimes he comes to me and he says he wants to check if the company data that is shared, is it protected. So he'll come to me and say, how many computers do we have on DLP? So DLP is, let me show you. Let me open it here. So this is DLP. No? DLP stands for Data Loss Prevention. So this is what we use for protecting company data when users are sharing or sending data using emails or using any website to share data. We use this to protect that data. So the guy who does attestations, he'll come to me and say, I want to check, are all the computers in the company on this system, on this data loss? Then I can check for him. Okay, but this one is a personal one. It's not a company one. So you won't be able to see that data. Then I'm able to show him that, yes, all the PCs or all the company computers are here. All the data that's being shared, we can see it. There are DLP policies in place. These are the policies. No? And then he'll document all that information on his Excel documents. And then when the internal auditors come, they'll go to him to get all that information. But sometimes they'll call us as well, or the guys like me, to show them what's on the document, if it's corresponding, because they want to see if the information matches what is on the Excel document. So sometimes the internal auditor will come and say, can you show us open DLP? We want to see if you have policies. We want to see if the computers are there, they are protected, the data is there, or the data is protected. So I'll have to come them and show them. Let's go back to the questions. So in a known environment, reconnaissance scenario, what information does the tester have access to? So in a known environment, is it A, B, C, or D? Let's see who gets this one right. Okay. Answer is this one. All the required information, including domain names, IP addresses, because it's a known environment, meaning the information is known. And then this one, what tool is specifically mentioned in the notes for network scanning? Which tool did I open? Which website did I open to show you for network scanning? A, B, C, or D? Yeah, correct answer is A, Nmap. And then number 13, what is the purpose of attestation in security context? What is the job of this attestation? Is it A, B, C, or D? Let's see. Yeah, correct answer is A. No? 14. According to the note, what is reconnaissance in the context of penetration testing? I did give you some examples. Is it A, B, C, or D? Let's see. What is the first job of an attacker? What do they do first? or someone, when a criminal tries to break into your house, what would they do first? So correct answer is this one. B. Gather information about the target system. And then this one, last one. Which of the following best describes the relationship between compliance and following regulations? So what does compliance mean? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.